Hello, Self Cosmos Ohana, Soul Dr. Nick here. This is Magic Mirror Work for Wednesday, October 15th, second day of the golden intersection of timelines, when the Gregorian, the Mayan, and the cosmic or galactic Mayan calendars sync up for the first time since the Gregorian calendar's creation, supposedly all relating to Fibonacci numbers and all this other stuff. Something that we haven't found that much online, but happened by my beloved to stumble across it just a couple days ago and just stepping into it. Being with any noticing, whether they're fevers, whether they're just the feelings, whether it's the work, whether it's the auspicious dates, just noticing it. And then right now, this morning, trying for the first time with the new phone to record this just by the firelight around the fire in our amenities room, which is ridiculous because it's got this double wall glass, so I don't feel the heat at all of it. It's such a waste of heat. I just get a little bit of light, and we'll see how the light goes. And maybe I'll sit where there's actually even more fire and flame and light and see if that's, oh, that is a little bit better, right? And be with the flickering and see how that is. Yesterday, watching my little 5-year-old cook a little bit on a cast iron pan, because I showed him, I was like warming up my food there, and he did it, and he's like, all right, I like it. Playing around heat and just noticing without having to try, without having to teach, and finding his own safety, just reminding, it's really hot, so if you touch it, it's gonna burn. And then just the manifestation of ice cream, of events, of sunshine. The only thing that was kind of annoying yesterday was the whir of a drone. Someone was flying a drone. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm glad I don't have one of these right now. Not my thing. Just ordered some red light therapy PMF mat, and we'll see how that goes. Really grateful for the coupon codes from my dear friends. What else has been happening? Just canceled my quantum field subscription because I was just like, you know what? I'm glad we tried it. I'm going to take a break and just notice and see what we notice. There's so many things that we want to try out, be a part of, and my work is to not jump on too fast, too much, and see how it unfolds. And having said that, I ordered 2 red lights instead of 1, actually 3 red lights instead of 1. So we'll see how that goes as well. Let's see here. Noticing that I want to go to bed earlier since the sun is setting so much earlier. And so if we want to stay up later, I want to stay up later. In general, probably it's going somewhere with sunshine and a longer day. So looking forward really to going to Hawaii. It's still going to be like 6 weeks. So got to be with this outside. It's like probably like 5 degrees or less right now. So it's not warm at night right now. And warmth and cold are just spectrums, right? So resetting the internal clock, internal temperature. Recognizing that my dear friends are having conferences on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that stuff, and how to both learn more without being inundated, because I don't need to. The main thing is living life. It's enjoying life. It's remembering that I'm this giant existential being having this human experience, and remind myself right now again that this magic mirror work is for me. The person who most needs to hear my story is me. And that's one of the things I talked about yesterday, is recognizing that when I'm listening to someone's story, what they're giving me is clues on what's actually going on inside, how they're framing the world. Even when they're sharing stories about someone else, it's told through their lens, their perspective. It's hearsay, and that's what I love. And I can see it more now. Hearsay really isn't the truth. It's what you received, and then the lens that you perceive it and put it out there with. And that was it even with master storytellers before. We're a storytelling race. And I think the master storytellers before were really able to help navigate who they are, what their flavor they're bringing into it, and then owning and being responsible for it. And right now, part of it, especially with the advent of more AI, is we're losing touch with owning our stories and how we tell them. We're almost asking this other intelligence, we're so used to smoothing things over, to express things that way, which actually takes away the flavor of who we are. And so my practice will be to use less and less of that to actually tell real stories, and possibly more of it for just non-essential business communication. For example, writing to a business for something. I don't need to try to craft that message. Whereas these messages to myself, by myself, through myself, definitely don't want to filter through AI. And then the videos that I'm creating, they're not polished in the same way, but it's in the unpolished that I'm realizing, where am I losing track? Where am I losing the thread without having someone else try to help me navigate the conclusion or how to tie things together? And it's in the practice that things improve without having to stick to a certain formula. And that's it too, not being formulaic. Oh, these are the three components. And there are ways to make things generically better. But is that what I want? Am I trying to copy everyone else? Mimetic theory. And I'm jumping around because, again, this magic mirror work is for me, not for someone else. I'm not trying to have or help you track where my brain is jumping to. I talked about mimetic theory yesterday as well, Rene Girard, how we've been patterned to copy, to want the same things, to avoid the same things, to have the same etiquette, all that stuff. And how do we shift outside of that? There's a common collective way that things may be better, but when we think that there's only one way to do things, that's when we're really fooling ourselves. And I'm noticing this more and more. How do I shift out of that mode? Part of it's just taking a breath. Part of it's doing the coffee enema, urine enema without fear of judgment or anything else like that. Part of it is telling the stories and playing with them and weaving with them. Part of it is just continuing to move when I want to, not sitting still just because I'm supposed to sit still. Part of it is dancing with the moment. Part of it is noticing when I'm repeating a pattern, even the pattern of trying to be stoic or quiet and say that I'm calm, rather than actually embodying the calm within the storm that's going on inside, and then practicing a different response. There's some people that they would probably actually benefit more from me actually bursting out with some passion, anger, intensity. And part of the patterning behind it that resists it is you don't want to cause more chaos. You don't want to have something that someone can hold against you. You don't want someone else to be able to say, oh my God, you lost your cool. And to notice, when am I withholding my authentic self because I want to protect an image of myself? When am I withholding my authentic self because I'm trying to protect an image of myself? And I said it again just to remind myself. When am I withholding myself to protect my authentic self, to protect an image of myself? And how do I practice that without having to even make it authentic or inauthentic? Everything that comes out, in a way, is authenticity. Everything that doesn't come out, in a way, is authenticity. What is done or isn't done, and that's the whole idea of cause and effect. Right now, I'm seeing the effects of life. Turning on the fireplace. What I can't see is all the causes. This fireplace turned on because someone lighted the switch, but they lighted the switch because this was actually built. They built this because all these materials are mined, like going back and back and back. All this goes back towards the creation of this universe, and then even before that, and before that, and before that, and before that. So the cause of things, we're only out here looking at the most immediate cause, most immediate, most recent cause, even if we can describe something. And we can't imagine the cause. So stick with the effects instead of going back into the past. And then being with the remembrance of things. Even the remembrance of past lives is a current effect. It isn't actually a cause. And such a paradox, such a mindfuck. I love that word paradox now, or dichotomy. There's so many different ways to play and nuance. And I keep looking for this poem, Dichotomy Woman, that I thought my old teacher Ellen had shown me back in PEI, like 25, 30 years ago, but she can't remember. I can't remember. She's an amazing teacher, and these people I want to reconnect with. Next year is the 20th anniversary of my med school graduation, and they're looking at a reunion. I think I'm actually going to write back and say, my default answer is no. Have a great time, guys. Life is good. And part of the reason for saying life is good is trying to project an image of myself. I don't need to do that. And there is some authenticity to it as well. Life is good. I can see that now. Having, at this point, more money, more freedom, more access is going to amplify this life is good. And there's that balance, I use the word balance, of noticing when it shifts and distorts and then taking a pause again, right? Oh, am I just shifting to the next layer of needing to maintain this lifestyle? Okay, where is the balance of money going towards investments, money going towards things, money going towards spending, right? And that's part of what we're developing for the business. And I don't quite know how to do that yet. Honesty. I don't. And that's okay. And part of it is building it into the layers of the organization that I want, and building in the support staff, and building in the contractors, and building in the visibility. And then having fun with these videos, just having fun. Like part of it, and having these devices and upgrading devices that I know I want to use. And that's the reminder I have for my beloved, for the things we use all the time. Let's actually have a very good version of it. Because that's the thing. Like we're upgrading the photos now. We're upgrading the usage case now, rather than trying to work with. And one of the things we use the most, that's why I keep upgrading the phone. And we can change. We can change right now. It's the iPhone still. We can change over to Android, all those things, but we want to have a better version of it. And better is based on us. And the same thing for me, because I'm a driver with the vehicle. And I'm not rushing to it, because it's a practice for me to be with the system of our family. And then better tools for our own health. Okay, we just ordered PMFMAT, we ordered the red lights. Let's see how those go, because those will be really good tools. And then better tools in terms of our luggage, when we're traveling more soon, backpacks, things like that. So I'm slowly noticing the evolution. And then the evolution of the tools for the kitchen, the evolution of the tools for ... and then the letting go of old stuff. And that's part of it. I can't wait to create almost a rage room for my Drobo and some old hard drives that want to get smashed up. Now where to do that, I don't know yet, but it's coming. It's coming. All right, what else is there? Waking up before sunrise again, which is a challenge and a blessing. I'm getting to cuddle my cat in the mornings. I'm remembering to hydrate. I'm really grateful for this life. Home is one of the biggest next endeavors. Work is a big next endeavor as well. And finding that intersection and having those conversations. So I can call them courageous conversations. I just call them conversations, and the meaningful ones. And then being willing to have them and plant the seeds and then let it go. And then recognizing, because I'm talking to some loved ones right now, and we're really realizing where our control points and set points are. It's not that we aren't neurotic. It's where are we neurotic, and we're able to say it to each other so that we can better see each other. Oh my God, I didn't realize these 30 different things are going on in your brain in the background all the time. Okay, that helps me understand you better. For me, it's this little shame trigger. Someone says something that triggers that shame kind of index in me. Oh, there's a part of me that wants to run away, hide, avoid, shut down. And then as well, not bring it up, especially for those that are closest with me, because I don't want to burden them with it, even though for them it's nothing. And that's what I realized that as I actually just said out loud, this is the thing that's I'm dealing with. It just let go of so much of the weight for me. And I was able to be more present. So how do I practice that more? How do I play with the tools that I tell everyone else to play with as well? And then noticing, how do I keep practicing cleaning up things, cleaning up things. And not the things as in having to clean up all the physical things, although that helps, and I'm doing more of that too. But there's these energetic leaks. And that's part of today. I'm going to be doing an integration from my recent ceremonies and from my Akashic records. And let's do some clearing and contract writing. And there's a giant train coming by. So some of the noise is coming on here, and that's okay. So how do I keep clearing, and rewriting with simplicity, clarity, authenticity, the contracts that I actually want to hold? And how do I keep noticing, and we all notice this, that the terms and conditions, the regulations, the rules have shifted so much into crazy cray-cray town. Let's just keep making them bigger and longer and have this mass delusion. No one reads it, but we're going to spend lots of money on lawyers and then use it to have these giant arguments if everyone ever comes to fight it. And because we're such a big corporation, we can lean on all these words and ... And no, like it's getting ridiculously ridiculous. Like why are the terms and conditions for a new phone like probably at least 30 pages, right? And how do we make something more meaningful? How do we make something more clear? How do we create it so there's actually clarity in these buildings, even the rules of the buildings? Why do we make such difficult, long, complex rule sets? Let's keep it simple, stupid. And that's the thing, like summer camp. Every time we have a new group of campers come in, let's collectively make some rules and then leave the rest out. Do we always have to have so many rules for every single usage case, every single time? Or how do we have just a normal code of conduct, right? The golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Clear and not clear, right? And the principle of it serves. The principle of it serves. Because first you start with how you'd want to be treated. And as you evolve, you can better start to see how people would like to be treated. And you work to encompass that to the best of your abilities without placating to them. And that's the thing with all these rights now. All these rights. I don't have any inherent rights, so to speak. But the more I believe that I should have these rights, the more I'm unable to develop my own boundaries and energetic clearing. And as I do that more, I can actually walk anywhere. And as I start walking everywhere, I realize that I can learn how to play in many different games and rule sets. And that's part of the process for me. I played in many different rule sets to realize there's so many different sets of rules. And part of it is not to deny my son that, but rather there may be a part that he already understands his concepts. He doesn't have to go through it the same way. And that's the piece too. I think that the understanding is important. How you get there depends on you. And so I'm stepping into all this. I'm contemplating the breath coming up. I'm contemplating the breath to remind people, planting seeds. There's going to be something you object to. Breathe into it. Unlearning, authenticity, your own development, your own story. Be with the effect, not the cause. What we resist persists. Taking a look at Bob Frizzell's 5 rules sets. That's probably something I want to take a look at again. And then guiding that into some of the foundations. So it's almost time for my call with my dear friend, Nick. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Ciao for now.